2024 and 2025 fittest firefighter in the world. That is Cale Layman's Instagram profile right now at this moment. Now, I really did not want to make another video about Cale Layman. I didn't. I have a list of about 6 videos that I want to make. 2 of them are time sensitive, so I didn't need to make this. I didn't particularly want to make it, but I'm going to make it because people have been DMing me and asking questions about whether or not Cale Layman is really a fireman.
You got a sprinter.
I started to do some digging. First, you get the DMs, and then you start looking into things, and I start seeing that in interviews, and posts, and videos, and everything. He never mentions firefighting until about 2025. So now I get a little bit more curious, and I do more digging. Next thing you know, I'm talking to people at West Point, I'm talking to friends, I'm talking to acquaintances, I'm talking to high school teachers, I'm even talking to fire chiefs. I mean, I am in deep. I swear it's like every time you throw a stone, it hits a new Cale Layman lie. It's like everything is just off. There's 100 things that I haven't brought up that are unsubstantiated or not quite confirmed or just slightly off. It's like in high school when my parents went out of town. I used to throw parties, big parties at their house.
Because I like to party?
I thought I'd cleaned to perfection, but they said, Grant, why is there Murphy's oil soap in the freezer? Grant, why is there a piece of pizza stuck to the ceiling?
That's awesome.
Grant, did you sleep in our bed? Why would you sleep in our bed? Our bed isn't made. But there was nothing that could quite nail me down.
You're gonna get caught.
Till one day my dad knocks on my door and says, Grant, what's this? And he holds out a single solitary Jell-O shot that I'd somehow overlooked in the main fridge sitting right next to the milk.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
So since Cale insists that having no video, security tapes that contradict his story, the entire Skylar Johnson judging fiasco, his performance at Mayhem, being unable to reproduce his scores in any meaningful manner when asked for them, is not the Jell-O shot that we need, even though it is, that motivates me. That makes me want the Jell-O shot. Cale not being a firefighter would be the Jell-O shot. Okay, I'm done with this analogy. It would be the smoking gun. The whole thing would come crumbling down. I don't think it's stolen valor. Maybe it is. I think that's only for military, but it would be along the same lines. Full disclosure, I didn't actually think or hope necessarily that he wasn't a firefighter. I thought he probably was. I was just a bit suspicious because of the things that I was seeing. So finally, I find out that what he has told everyone is that he is a firefighter at Waynesboro Rural Fire Protection District as a volunteer. And I spoke to the chief there, and little intermission, 20 seconds. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I kind of want to tell you to hit the like button too, but usually when you tell people to do 2 things, they only do 1. So hit the subscribe button. And also check out my sponsors, Third Z. I absolutely love this. I do feel more recovered. I tried it for a long time before I started working with them. Crap, I just told you to do 3 things. Now you're not going to do any of them. Okay, just do the Third Z thing then. I picked that. I picked that one. Do that one. Cale is indeed a firefighter. But wait. By the way, congratulations, Cale. We found something that you didn't lie about. You rescue kittens from trees. I'm just kidding. Firefighters are awesome, just not this firefighter. This isn't the end of the story. You might actually be a firefighter, Cale, but you are not the fittest firefighter. You're not the fittest fighter in 2024. You're not the fittest firefighter in 2025. You're not the fittest military member in 2024. You're not the fittest student in 2024. You did not get those titles. You have stolen and fabricated those titles. Whatever sort of insanity caused Cale to think that it would be a good idea to go to Mayhem, a good idea to tell his weird freaking story to Morning Chalk Up, and a good idea to do wall balls in a tree.
When he does wall balls, he does them on a tree.
It's probably the same insanity that causes him to blatantly advertise and continue to advertise what he has here on his profile, because he has hijacked these titles from the people that they belong to. For the 2024 Open, he didn't even notate himself as a firefighter. He was not eligible to be the fittest firefighter in the world. He did notate himself as a military member and as a student in 2024. In order to win the fittest service member awards, in order to be the fittest member of the military or the fittest student or the fittest firefighter, you qualify through the Open and you must do the Service Cup. And in order to win the title of fittest firefighter, fittest military member, or fittest college student, you have to submit video. Interesting. What's also interesting is that he didn't do it. Like, at all. The equivalent here would be like the fact that Colton Mertens won the Open. It would be like Colton Mertens winning the Open without video and calling himself the fittest man in the world on his Instagram profile without ever going on to semifinals and then the games where you compete for that title. On the official CrossFit website, I can tell you from the Service Cup who the fittest firefighter, fittest military member, and fittest student are in the world. By the way, even the Morning Chalk-Up says, since 2017, we have seen different versions of the Service Open in CrossFit, but this year, there will be a second stage of the competition to provide the opportunity for athletes to be called the fittest in their profession. And that language is echoed on the CrossFit website as well, where it says that in 2024, the fittest active duty military is Seth Hebert. The fittest firefighter is Sergio Brasino from CrossFit Crash, J.R. Howell's gym. I don't actually even see student on there, so maybe they changed something. But 2025 hasn't even occurred yet, so he also can't be the fittest firefighter for 2025. And even if he wanted to be, it's a totally separate event in order to earn that title, which he has not earned. Cale isn't the fittest anything. His profile is just another example of why he cannot be trusted. Couple of other pieces of news here. I want to say that it's possible that Skylar Johnson, Cale's judge, may have been in Missouri, potentially. He is not from Missouri, and he went to school at West Point in New York, and he's buddies with Cale. But they were both engineering, and if they continue to pursue engineering, the big engineering school is in Missouri. So it is possible, yet unconfirmed, even though I looked into it, that Skylar Johnson could have been in Missouri going to that engineering school as well. Now, in the end, it doesn't change anything. He still doesn't do CrossFit. Nobody at the affiliate knows who he is. He's not a registered judge, never done the Open. Neither of them are on the security tapes. But I still wanted to point that out to make sure that I'm presenting all sides available of the story. I do have confirmation that Cale will not be reprimanded by the military. The Morning Chalk-Up article was shown to his superiors, not by me. There are people in West Point and people who do CrossFit at West Point who have brought certain things to people's attention, such as Cale's commanding officer. And after seeing the article and all the information, he will not be facing discipline. Somebody said to me, it seems that Cale will just have to fail at his own pace, and he will fail. Another piece here, I don't think that Cale had rhabdo anymore. I think that's made up. Now, I don't have 100% evidence on this, but I have very strong evidence that when Cale said he had rhabdo and was telling people that he was in the hospital and in pretty serious condition, the same day that Hiller posted that he had rhabdo, he was actually very much alive. All I know is that when he said he had it, it would seem that he either wasn't in the hospital at all or he wasn't in the hospital very long. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Just want to wrap this up by saying that those who say that we have no evidence to prove that he did anything wrong in the Open, it's like a murder case where nobody saw the person fire the shot. We can't show evidence of Cale not doing something because he didn't do it. But we've come as close as you can get. We found the weapon. He's got the residue on his hands. And there's a camera in the alleyway that shows a shadowy 4'11" figure walking away from the crime scene at the exact time that the crime was committed with a Mountain Dew in his hand and an HWPO shirt on. Last thing, my hope is still that Cale will come out and say what he did and avail himself of the burden of this lie. Don't be the guy that Hiller's making a video of 3 years from now. Just look at Hippensteel. Everybody loves Hippensteel after the video. People used to joke about him all the time because he was caught doing poor movement standards and essentially cheating. Now, it may not be the exact same thing that you're accused of doing, but this ate at him daily. He was shamed online and everybody knew about it. Look at Bill Leahy. Same thing. Hiller exposed him and they ended up becoming friends. And now Bill Leahy's on his way to the CrossFit Games. But you won't be going to the games. I had to add that afterwards in terrible quote. You're never going to go to the games. But the other stuff. So what I think you should do is I think you should go to Hiller and give him that interview like Bill Leahy and David Hippensteel. And don't wait But until then, you're not the fittest firefighter, you're not the fittest military member, and you're not the fittest student. Those are stolen titles. The only thing that Cale Layman is the fittest person known to have publicly cheated in the Open 2025. Put that in your profile. Here, I'll fix it for you.